Stop. Hold on there, man. Aren't dogs just the best? I mean, they're our companions, our protectors, our goofball best friends, but unfortunately, we haven't always been the best to them. Let's go back to where it all began. Howl! Wolves. 20 to 40,000 years ago, wolves started getting closer to humans, probably because of food. As humans and wolves became more familiar, humans began breeding the most loyal, tamest wolves together. Doing so over and over made more obedient, loyal creatures dogs. And when humans started domesticating other animals 7,000 to 9,000 years ago, dogs were right there, helping to herd and guard the livestock. This encouraged humans to breed dogs to be better at these tasks, eventually developing the different dog groups like sporting, working, and herding. And eventually, 300 to 400 different dog breeds. Breeds like golden retrievers, like Midas here, who have a soft mouth. They pick things up really gently because they were bred to retrieve birds after a human shot them. Or Dachshunds, wiener dogs, who were bred to be long and low to hunt badgers through burrows. Or Greyhounds, who were bred to be super duper fast. This selective breeding of individuals with desirable traits in the hopes those puppies would have these traits is an early example of genetic engineering. And this also influenced the evolution of dogs as a whole. Unlike evolution in the wild, where individuals who are best able to survive produce the most offspring through natural selection, dog evolution is an example of artificial selection because humans just chose which individuals got to breed, which we've also done with livestock and crops. But then in the 1800s, we got a little overexcited with these newfound powers, particularly with purebreds, dogs whose families for at least 3 generations have only been that breed. And in Best in Show dog shows, purebreds are judged on how well they exemplify their breed, and while temperament is a part of it, the focus is on their appearance. This changed breeding to be more about aesthetics, rather than the function of the dog, and actually changed the way dogs looked. Like the Bull Terrier, who went from looking like this in 1867 to this today. This shift also led to a change in animal health, with one of the most obvious examples being our beloved flat-faced dog friends like bulldogs and pugs, like the beautiful Evie here. The human desire for flatter faces on these dogs has led to a whole host of breathing problems for them, from snoring and snorting to conditions like bronchial collapse and chronic gastritis, which can be life-threatening. But the impacts of aesthetic breeding can also have less obvious consequences thanks to genetics. We all have 2 copies of each gene, and in any population, there will be some individuals who have non-working or mutated copies of genes that they can pass on to their offspring. If you're drawing from a smaller gene pool, like what happens with purebreds, since there really just aren't that many of them, and especially one that's being inbred where related individuals have been bred together, which also happened a lot with purebreds, the risk of offspring inheriting the non-working genes is higher. It's like having a big bowl of treats and a small bowl of treats. Though the bowls have the same number of broken treats, because there are so many fewer treats in the small bowl, your chances of getting a broken treat are higher. Sometimes, all it takes is one bad copy of a gene to cause a disease. In this case, the parent will either pass along the working copy of the gene or the non-working copy of the gene to their offspring, giving offspring a 50% chance of inheriting one non-working copy and having the disease. This is how Huntington's disease in humans works, or a neurological condition called degenerative myelopathy in dogs. But other times, you need to have 2 non-working copies of a gene to have a disease, and only having 1 non-working copy makes you a carrier. In smaller populations, in a smaller breeding population, there's a higher chance of carriers pairing up, giving your offspring a 25% chance of inheriting 2 non-working copies and ending up with the disease. In humans, this is how sickle cell anemia works, and cystic fibrosis, while in dogs it describes a number of skeletal and muscular diseases. So, overall, purebred breeding for aesthetics has led to smaller gene pools, higher rates of gene-linked illnesses, and a whole host of health problems related to altered physical forms, from joint problems in large and giant breeds to hydrocephalus in small and flat-faced breeds, where 2 small skulls plus excess cerebrospinal fluid puts pressure on their brains, leading to swollen heads, seizures, behavioral changes, and eye issues, to name a few. Thankfully, nowadays more breeders are using genetic testing to breed healthier dogs, But the aesthetic demands of dog shows and buyers sometimes outweighs the health of the dog, especially regarding concerns that appear later in the dog's life. So, what can you do? Well, try buying a mixed breed dog. A mixed breed like Finn or Storm here. Because mixed breed dogs are drawn from a larger gene pool, there's a higher chance for a healthier pup. Or you could also ask your breeder about genetic testing and the health of the puppy's parents and grandparents. And remember, even without genetic health problems, having a dog is a huge commitment. So make sure to always do your research into different breeds and choose the right fit for your lifestyle. If you do, you'll have a loyal buddy who loves you more than anything. Except maybe treats.